Thank you very much, President-elect Kalian, for those very useful comments and for your very kind remarks. According to the program, it's now my time to say a few words. Basically, to thank you and thank everybody. I've used the word risk a few times since we started today. Risk is good. Risk is good, and the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff can be. I took a risk last year. For some reason, I like the name Sophia. Because not far from my ancestral home, on the border between Uganda and Kenya, there is a place called Sophia, same spelling. Sadly 17 miles away from my ancestral home. And I like the word, I like the name. So when it came to choosing a possible site for an institute, I found this word. Of course, I didn't know where it was. I didn't know anybody in Bulgaria. And I don't even think I had ever met anybody from Bulgaria. Maybe I did without knowing. But I thought this might be an interesting place to have a meeting. Zurich, rather, Evanston asked me, where are you going to have your institute? So obviously I was not ready, being director-elect. I didn't even know I was required to plan for these things. So when they asked, I began to work, and I said, well, there's a place called Sofia in Bulgaria. Who is your chairman? No idea. Somehow, in consultation, the name culture came up. And so I said, well, the chairman of the institute will be Culture Inno. Osalik was a great help in these consultations. He's not here because he has family commitments today, but he was a great help. So I took a risk. And I'm glad I did, because the payoff has been very good. You've seen it for yourself. For a first-time institute here, I think you've done extremely well. Congratulations to all of you. I have no idea, apart from the facts about the Rotary Zone, and there are so many countries in this area, that Part B of the zone constitutes 25 countries. But it's a very interesting area, and I'm glad to be the representative of this area to the Board of Rotary International, because where else can you have a mini convention at an institute outside Zone 20? Whether it is Part A or Part B, it is a mini convention. With a difference. The difference is that here you can sit and chat and tease the president or president-elect. You have the opportunity to meet with the foundation representative, tease them, chat with them, have coffee with them, take photographs with them, and so on. That is a definite advantage here, which you will not have at a convention. I can assure you, those of you who have not been to the convention, it will be almost impossible for you to meet Kalian in New Orleans. you probably might even have difficulty meeting me because the scale is that much bigger. But here, in our mini convention at this institute, we have the best of both worlds. President-elect, I'd like to thank you for your time, you and Vinota for being here. In spite of all the difficulties in travel, John and Judy would like to thank you for being here and spending so much time and doing so much work in these 4 or 5 days. We've enjoyed ourselves. Between Kalyan and us, Nora and I, we brought some warm weather. We can guarantee it up to tomorrow. Beyond that, we are not sure. But the good Lord was kind to us, because the African blood is very thin. With the winter or the snow and the ice on the ground, we would be uncomfortable. We've had an opportunity to look at a number of topics. The challenge that we have for the past officers is how we can remain involved. And this is usually the problem because we talk to the converted. Those who need to hear the message are not here. They either didn't come or they've gone. But that's the way it is. So what else can we do but to talk to you? In the hope that you can then translate the message to them. But we need, as past officers, in whom Rotary International has invested a lot of time and resources, to keep involved. And we have a selfish interest because you have spent time, you have invested resources, you have invested a lot of energy in this organization. And you need to know what is happening, what's the health of the organization and where it is going, so that you keep involved, you keep influencing in the small way that you can the direction of our great organization. So that's the challenge for those of us who are past officers. For those who are coming in, I hope you found it an inspiration as governors-elect, and that anything that you've not done up to now, you can now go back and fine-tune between now and January, and definitely between now and end of June, so that come July 1, you hit the ground running. I'd like to thank all different people, and I apologize if I forget anybody. But Chairman Culture, thank you very much for a job well done. He's very efficient on his IT, on his internet. We communicated a lot before we met and after we met. Thank you, Boriana, for being such a good companion, a good help to your dad, and for being an excellent driver. Thank you, the organizing committee, for an excellent job. Governor Krasmir, I'm told, means Mr. Wine in other languages. And Helena, thank you for a job well done. Our Indefatigable General Secretary Hilario, thank you very much for doing an excellent job. I'd like to, on your behalf, to thank our Sergeant at Arms, Atanas, and their team of Rotaractors for being so helpful to all of us. I'd like to thank the spouses who took time off to come to join us and for making this institute as colorful as it has been. And before I forget, let me, on your behalf, thank the interpreters who have been sitting up there and doing an excellent job to enable us to understand one another. I know that culture and others will thank you, but this is my turn. I'd like to appreciate all the good work you've done to enable us to communicate. On your behalf, and again I know there will be an appropriate sentiment, message of thanks, I'd like to thank the government of Bulgaria and all our hosts from this country and from this district for looking after us so well, for the warm reception that we got and for all the support we've got since we arrived here. There's been a lot of help at this residence, the Boyana residence. I'd like to appreciate that. Thank the management and staff of this residence for looking after us all so well. We've had aides, as the President mentioned. We've had drivers who have all been very, very good and enabled us to enjoy our time here, which otherwise could have been different without them. I'd like to say a special word of appreciation to them. And the speakers, from within ourselves and from without. We've had speakers from outside since we started. The mayor, the president or chairperson of parliament, whom we had the privilege to meet yesterday afternoon in her office. They sent messages. They would have been here in person, except for the pressing commitments that they had at the time they were supposed to speak here. But we do appreciate their time and their commitment. The Speaker of Parliament assured us that there is a lot that happens in this country between Rotary and government, and Rotary and Parliament, and indeed we understand that there are many Rotarians in the Parliament of Bulgaria, which is a very, very good sign. So it remains for me to appreciate all of you, the trainers, the speakers, all of us present, because you cannot talk to an empty room. Your persistence, your determination to sit through has been appreciated, and I hope that next time we have an opportunity to meet at an institute, the numbers will be much bigger. Please be our ambassadors to those who have not come, and tell them that there is something good at the Zone Institute. The fellowship, the learning, the exchange, it's good for all of us to keep alive, to continue the fellowship, to continue learning, and to remain alive and working for our great organization. It needs us, and we need it to continue to rise and shine. With those few remarks, it's now my pleasure to invite the Institute Chair to come and say a few words to you. Culture, please.